Thought I'd give you an update on this Trans Am. I was having troubles getting it tuned and set up, and I did everything I could with the carburetor. I adjusted it, I fixed it, got it all going. But after taking the carburetor off, I found out what I did wrong. Now, some of you, it's probably basic, I don't know. Me, stupidity. When I put this on, I had complained in a video when I was doing all this, and it's way, way back in a video, that I had to bend this fuel rail up because it was hitting the front here of my manifold. So I bent it up away from it. And I thought, that's pretty cool. That'll work. And it did. And when I put my shaker on, my shaker was way too low. When I say way too low, it was a 1/2 inch too low. So I put this plastic spacer under the intake, or between the carburetor and the air breather, and that raised it up to where the shaker protruded out of the hood and looked really good. But as I was saying, I tried a lot of different things. I tried different plug wires. I tried different coil, thinking, well, my spark's not getting there. Well, I'm not going to change my plugs because I'm going to use the factory plug. I thought, wow, what is going on here? I took the carburetor off, and I realized that the secondary pump was touching my intake. So it would push it in just a little bit to spray the gas. So the whole time I was cranking on this, it's just pumping gas in the secondaries, just flooding the car, filling it up with gas. Wow, that's really a pain in my butt. Now, what am I going to do? And then I went back and I thought, you know what? I had to use this 1/2 inch spacer to get that shaker up. What if I use a 1/2 inch carburetor spacer between the carburetor and the intake? And why didn't I do that to begin with? I would have never had to bend those fuel rails up. I would have never had to go buy this kit. That is part of my stupidity. Was not thinking, was in a hurry to get this thing going. So I just ordered my 1/2 inch base spacer. So it's going to be a few days, and hopefully I'll get this on and I can get this all tuned up and leveled out. You know, like I say, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what was going on here. And I can't believe I didn't notice that that secondary pump was hitting the intake and pushing it up. And the whole time I'm cranking, I'm just throwing tons of gas down this thing. Funny thing was, it didn't smoke out the back. It wasn't black. It wasn't burning like that. But my plugs were black, sooted. Looked like it was way rich. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to hang loose and wait until those parts show up. Okay, kind of bring people up to date. What's going on here? I need a spacer for my carb. A friend gave me this one, which is 1 inch. And I thought I'd try it. And when you get the spacer on there, and then the carburetor, then your air cleaner, it fits really, really tight against the hood. I mean, too tight. So that being 1 inch, I ordered a 1/2 inch from Jegs, and it came, here it is, just a nice little 1/2 inch adapter or spacer here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the car, if I can ever get it out of the box here with one hand. I'm going to go ahead and get this taken care of and get this all buttoned up. And hopefully that takes care of that accelerator pump bouncing off the intake. But this is going to take me a little bit. So I'm going to get this all set back up, get it dialed in, and hopefully this takes care of my problem. Back in a few. All right. Got my carb spacer in there. I like the height of that. It looks good. Pretty pleased with that. I'll show you what it looks like on the underside. Okay, here's what we have. See, I got the spacer. Everything's set there. Timing's still not perfect. I've got this set at about 12 before top dead center. It seems to like it a little bit there, but when you shut the key off, it likes to run backwards a little bit for just a second. So I may have to go to 11 or 10 to get it where it wants, but now you get in it, you hit the key, it'll start up, which is a lot better. Before you had to pump it and you had to try to start it, and once you got running, you had to hold foot down and, just flooding the crap out of it and stuff. But progress. I still have the clutch to adjust. I've been doing that. Once I get the timing adjusted to where I like it, I think I'm going to go ahead and reset the needles for the air fuel mixture on the carb, get my gauge out and redo that. Probably buy new spark plug wires. These are some off my other car because I thought that was part of my problem. So I pulled these from another car. They weren't on the car. I had used them on another car. And see where I go from there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's coming pretty well. I mean, like I say, it moves on its own now. It stays running. It's not falling on itself and dying. I still have some belts loose, just minor little things here and there that I have to keep adjusting and take care of. I still have a little paint touch up on the car here and there to get done. And hopefully, as soon as the weather starts getting nicer, because I really think I need to get this out, drive it to do all these adjustments so I know where I'm at. Right now, trying to adjust it in the garage, just letting it run. It's under idle. Get out there in the real world and start driving it and putting some RPMs to it so I'll know which way to go on things, what to adjust. But right now, it's kind of cold out. I think it's in the 40s. And I'd like to see a couple of days of rain and for it to all dry up, wash the salt off the roads and stuff before I get this out there and get it that dirty and stuff. But yeah, a little more adjustment. I'm going to call this project done, and I'm going to have to move on to something else. And the crazy thing is, I can't seem to pull the trigger on this Mustang. I know that sounds crazy, but just can't do it. I'll be back here in a second and talk about it. Back in a minute. Yeah, it's still cold here in Indiana, as you see by the cool hat. I was telling you on this one, I'm pretty sure I've got everything dialed in. It's real close. It needs to be taken out and driven to really dial things in. Like a friend was telling me when I had called him and said, hey, I can't get this thing adjusted, what's going on? He says you really need to go out and drive it. He said because when you assembled the engine and everything, you got all the oil down in the pistons and cylinders and stuff, and you got all this stuff lubed up, and you really need to just do a shakedown on it. Get it out. He goes, sitting here at idle and stuff, it's not doing any good. You really need to get out and tack it out and shift the gears and basically blow everything out to get everything set. And he's probably right. It would help. You take it down the road if it's popping and banging, hey, your timing's off a little bit. And if shifting gears and you hear a little grind here and there, your clutch isn't adjusted right. You can feel it a lot better when you drive them. So as soon as the weather gets decent here, I'll probably do that. And right now, this car probably has less than a gallon of gas in it. I put 5 gallons in it when I started doing all this, and I'm pretty sure it's got to be pretty close to running out of gas here pretty soon anyway. So that's where I am on this. When I get it all dialed in and that, I'm sure I'll throw some video of it running, driving, or whatever I can, maybe going to a car show or something this summer. And that's going to wrap this project up. So then I have to find something else. Now, I've been talking about this Mustang I've got. I really want to do something besides the GM. I've got the Olds, the Buick, the Pontiac, the Chevy, and that's cool. I could do more of them, but I really don't want to. And my Trans Am parts cars are all gone. The guy that had purchased them came and got the last one about 4 or 5 days ago. And I got to tell you, he's a really nice guy. People that he came with him, nice. Everything went really smooth, so I'm really happy for that. And I'm hoping that maybe he can build one out of the 3 or get enough parts to do something or sell some stuff off and make some money. For me, it was just going to take too long to part them out and make any money. It was easier to sell them in one shot, and hopefully he can do that. And I just didn't want to wait years to do that. So they're gone, so I won't be doing another Firebird. I'm sure I won't be doing another Camaro. I owned an 87 IROC, but yeah, I'm not looking at doing any old Camaros or anything like that. I tried to buy a Cougar because before I bought this Mustang I've got sitting over here, I was looking at Cougars, 67 to 70 Cougars. And when looking at them, the ones that were decent, I'm not going to say show quality or anything like that, that were decent for restoration projects, they wanted crazy money. And when I say crazy money, they want $7 grand for a car that needed completely restored. And a lot of people know, and some don't, you could dump $10,000, $20,000 in a car like that, So when you go out and you buy a car and you spend 10 grand for it, and then you dump another 20 grand in it, you got a $30,000 car. You should have just went out and bought one for 20 and started driving it right away. So my whole thing was, if I could find a Cougar for around $2,500 that's restorable, that'd be fantastic. But any more than that, I'm a tight ass. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna do it. I looked at another Mustang, and they're just as bad as this one. So I still have to do just as much repair. And like I tell people, it doesn't matter if you have half a quarter panel rotted or the whole quarter panel rotted. You got to replace the quarter panel anyhow. So it doesn't make much sense to think that you're just going to put patches all over the place. Just replace the whole panel. It's just the way it is. I was talking to a friend of mine who has a GTO Judge, and he's got another GTO 69 that he's putting a LS in, 5-speed, and it's looking really, really, really sharp. And he sent out for the Pontiac historical documents, and it came back as a Ram Air 4 car. He had no clue that was a Ram Air 4 car. So he's like in shock. He says, damn, he goes, but I already got the LS in there. I already got the 5-speed in there. I'm already building what I want. He goes, and that motor's been long gone. He said, so I don't think it being a Ram Air does it any good at this point. He goes, this is going to be a damn nice car to drive around and stuff. And I agreed. And he was telling me about a fastback Mustang he knew of that is close by. He says, it's really rusty. And I said, well, it can't be any worse than the one I've got right now. And I said, if you find out a price on it, let me know, and maybe we can work something out. I said, but I really would like to have a Cougar. Well, he told me where there was a 70 Cougar at, and I said, oh, I have seen that one. That guy does not want to sell it. I said, it's not a real Eliminator, although it looks like one. He goes, yeah. He goes, he knew the guy that owns it. I said that he's had it for 12 years sitting in his field, and he just can't let it go. He's pretty sure he's going to fix it up. He says he hasn't touched it this long. He doesn't think he's ever going to fix it up. But, it's his car. He can do whatever he wants with it. But that would have been one of the cars I would have probably grabbed a hold of if it wasn't too far gone. And the only reason why I'd rather do a Cougar over a Mustang is when you go to a car show, how many Cougars do you see at a car show compared to how many Mustangs do you see at a car show? And I like something different. I don't want to go to a car show and have the same thing everyone else has. I've gone, and Trans Ams, you might see one, maybe two at a local car show. More than that, you're not going to find them unless you go to an all Pontiac show and stuff. And you just don't see them driving around. So I know this will stick out like a sore thumb because it's orange. So that helps too. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this summer. Get some cars out, do some shakedowns. What else do you guys think I should consider building? Like I say, I've got this Mustang now, but it's really hard for me to pull the trigger on it. It's not like it's a convertible. It's not like it's a fastback. It's a notchback. So I'm not 100% ready. And I've had people ask me over the weeks, months now, when are you going to start on that Mustang? When are you going to start on that Mustang? And I tell them the same thing. I have not pulled a bolt off that car. I have not touched that car, because once I do, I'm going to be committed to that car. If I pull a part off from it, then it's going to be a full-blown pulled apart, let's go, and I'm going to end up building this car. And the parts are really cheap, like I said in another video. But wow, I just see Mustangs everywhere. I was wondering what the rest of you thought. You know, what do you think would be a unique car to restore, but yet you can get parts for them? I mean, I don't want something like an Amphicar that you're going to pay $80,000 for just to restore it, you know, because it's worth $150 or something. And I don't want a Superbird. You know, I would take one. If you got one, don't give it away. I'd take it. But a Superbird, you know, $150,000, $175,000 car, you know, just the wings and stuff cost you more than trying to fix one up. Like I said in the other video, I wanted a Corvette. Corvette's not working out for me. It's just that they're still too high dollar, although Mopars are coming down in value now. And I'm seeing more at I don't want to say a fair price, but still a high price. You know, long gone are the days where I could go buy a 69 GTO 25 miles away and drive it home for $1,500, you know, and I've done that. I've bought lots of GTOs for under $2,000 and drove them home. There's one I paid $800 for and drove it home. You know, it's 68. Like I say, those are long, long gone. All the years of doing cars, I've missed out, I guess. Well, I didn't. I got to enjoy them. The rest of you are missing out because you got to pay a hell of a lot of money to enjoy them. So that's my 2 cents. I'm sure I don't know what to do with the Mustang. I really don't. I've had a friend give me some parts for it. He's got a set of doors. I told him these doors are fine, but he wants to give them up. I'd take them just in case I need something out of them and stuff. But wow. You know, if any of you guys got a Cougar close by in Indiana you'd like to sell for under $2,000, hey, let me know. Maybe we can work something out. Or if you got a Mustang convertible that's in bad shape, maybe we can work something out. You know, fastbacks, same thing. I'd be more than happy to. I've looked at the Gran Torinos and stuff like that. Anything with a GT from Ford, and I like some of them. I don't know how hard they are to build, but I would like to give it a shot. And in ending this video, let you know that I did buy a mic for my phone so that you could hear me better. But you know what? Turns out I've got an old phone. Imagine that, old guy having an old phone. And I bought the mic and it plugs into my phone, but it doesn't work. My phone doesn't recognize that thing whatsoever. I've gone in, tried to change things. No, won't work. The guy at Best Buy says, you know what? You got a really old phone there. He goes, you got an Android. You need to get rid of that and get something else. I said, hell, this is as modern as I can get. It took me years before I actually got a phone that wasn't a flip phone. But I don't know what I'm going to do about the mic. Not yet. This phone, I did drop when I broke the screen. So the screen's pretty beat up now. My wife's yelling at me, go get a new phone. And I keep saying I don't want to download all this stuff. I don't want to lose any of my info, my contacts. But it may come to that. So, hey, I'm just rambling. But, hey, almost done with this project. It's coming to an end real soon. Got little paint touch-ups, like I say, and little adjustments and stuff. And I should be driving this really quick here. Within a month, easy. We should get some breaks. We had some nice weather last week. We were hitting 60s, 70s. But the salt was still on the roads. And I wasn't going to take a car out. And I know the salt's not going to hurt that bad, but that's just me. You know, I put a lot of time and money in the car not to throw a bunch of salt on it all at once. If you enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing. Please like and share. I don't understand why I'm not getting a more quantity of subscribers. I guess I must be boring as hell. But, you know, maybe a different project. I'll grab some other subscribers. But, hey, thanks for watching my video. Later.